You ever just want to be 6'11", skinny with abs, fastest player on the court, without a doubt?
Are you talking about Kevin Durant?
Skinny Jokic! That guy is the guy out of Denver right now. Truly the swollest of the swole.
He's the
Skinny
greatest
Jokic.
center of all time.
Greatest center of all time.
You mean the greatest Nuggets center of all time? Wait, didn't Dikembe play there?
Hey,
6'11",
The greatest 6'11" center.
flipping massive tires. 6'11",
what is going on?
big old skinny Jokic with abs.
I call him the Luka Doncic of centers because he has absolutely no athleticism, but all of the skill.
When you first said that, I thought you said the Nikola Jokic of centers.
But
You don't
He
say.
transformed his body. He was weighing almost 300 pounds back in the day.
Hey man, me too.
so Zane, I'm gonna throw up a picture on the stream right now of skinny Jokic, which just came out today. Looks like he looks very similar to rookie Kevin Durant.
Ah, yes. Lean, mean.
And 150 pounds.
He's got a really nice looking denim jacket on right now. And Jokic.
It's
Look at those white Jordan 1s that he's got rocking right there.
it's gonna be fun when any guard in the league is able to push him around now that he doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. 'Cause he's gonna
Can you
be
imagine if Steph Curry
dropping
backed
dimes.
Nikola Jokic down?
He's gonna be dropping dimes.
That's true. He's gonna be playing point guard now. Is he Giannis with the jump shot?
Yes.
He is
And
Giannis with a jump shot. Except he's
Lascivious-
gonna win a championship this year, and Giannis will never get that.
Ah,
Wow.
yes. Skinny Jokic.
Let
Instant MVP.
me just hop
Instant
over here to the
champ.
wheel of hot takes. As Benny said,
Oh
Giannis will
no!
never win a championship.
Giannis? Giannis will never win a championship on his own.
Well, Benny didn't justify it with that. He just said that. So we'll come back to that in some later episode when we'll make
All
Zane
right.
defend something else.
Hey everybody, welcome to the BZC Sports Podcast. How did we come up with that order of letters?
Oh, I'm a highly creative individual, and
I think it sounds better than CBZ or ZCB or.
yeah, I felt
I
bad.
think it should be
putting-
CBZ.
I felt bad putting my name first, so I put mine last, so you couldn't accuse me of being selfish.
User.
I like the CBZ because it's in alphabetical order.
Benny, don't make me rebrand.
It's perfect.
All right, fine.
Like I said, welcome.
Welcome. Quite.
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 Our first topic was skinny Nikola Jokic, which is just the best topic I've ever seen in my life.
wait.
but-
I have one more thing to add with it before we move on from skinny Jokic here, Benny. Since we saw
Skinny Jokic. My dad.
skinny Jokic and we've seen skinny Harden, will we see skinny Zion?
Oh man. No, Zion likes his Twinkies too much.
Okay.
Actually, that's probably not true.
The thing
Yeah.
about Zion is that such a huge aspect of his game is being big.
I mean, you could say that about Jokic, because he's really slow. It's a huge aspect of his game.
Hey, he's just a center. There's a huge difference.
Well, back in 2019, Zion claimed that he had gained 100 pounds in 2 weeks during high school. So maybe Zion's out here like listed 6'7" and 285 pounds.
I heard during the season that was a little bit of an understatement, that he was over 300 at certain points.
Yeah, I thought I heard he was 305 at one point.
Yeah. The next heaviest person in the NBA is Boban.
I mean, hey, dude, that weight's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he's
Those
gonna.
knees,
I mean, we already saw him go
those
down
hips.
like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, knees, hips. I mean, and that's all stuff that was a basketball player.
Yeah, and he blew out that shoe when he was with Duke.
Yeah, because he weighed 335,000 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, but
Well,
those
his
Nikes
real
weren't
problem
his
is he was wearing the ankle breaker 3000s.
the Paul Georges.
He didn't know that
Yeah.
it was gonna break his ankle.
Yeah, well, he just didn't read the label.
Yeah. So Benny, did you want to lead us into our next topic here, like you were gonna do before I cut you off?
I was just gonna say our next topic, or really our first big topic, is the quarantine rules for the supposed playoff
Yeah.
and rest of the season, I guess.
Yeah. So
So they're gonna be in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're only gonna be allowed within a few miles of like their hotel stadium or something.
I wasn't sure that they were let out of.
Oh, they're
Um,
only allowed in
well,
the
I know what-
hotel.
Yeah.
I know the NHL is doing, if they're going to start back up, which they are, but they're going to start testing, I think it's after the games and at night, or maybe before the games and then at night,
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
every night.
Doesn't it take quite a while to get the test done?
Well,
No.
maybe.
I mean,
Not anymore.
I wouldn't think so. They just gotta
Look.
swab it and then they gotta go and look at it in a lab. But if they're
Well, I think
looking
they're
at
being
it,
efficient about it.
yeah, if they're looking at it, they're probably have like specific doctors for all NBA players, so they'll take care of it. But so the rules that I was seeing was that basically they'll be in a little bubble. So they'll be at Disney World. They couldn't afford their own island like the UFC, but unfortunately, but they'll be in their own little bubble. From what I understand, they will not be let out of the hotel. They won't be allowed to go to like Disney World and ride rides or do anything like that. They'll pretty much be kept off on their own, no family. And if they do like leave and get caught, with the stipulation of getting caught, then they'll have to be quarantined for a couple days and take a couple different tests to make sure that they don't have anything. So we're looking at a possible playoff series where James Harden wants to go out and party and gets caught, and now he's lost the series for his team.
Instead of just choking like usual.
Well, yeah.
And so teams are also going to be given a 1-week window in which they can release players prior to the resumption of play, and then the roster will be limited to 15 players, and 13 of them are going to be active for the game. But in the event of like a serious injury or a positive coronavirus test, a team can bring in a replacement player.
Is that the final two on their roster? Are there replacement players?
I would think so.
Okay.
Well, I mean what it says is that the player, however, has to be under the NBA or NBA G League contract this season, so they can't bring in a guy that wasn't signed.
Gotcha.
Oh, so they can
But like they can
from...
sign some guy that just did not get signed, after all this stuff.
Yeah, they just
Right.
couldn't take somebody like Jeremy Lin who's playing overseas or anybody like that.
Right.
Like they could take DeMarcus Cousins because he was on an NBA roster this season.
Yeah.
And they could take the greatest player of all time, Taco Fall, who will get called up during this time.
I thought you were talking about Mike Conley.
No. Isn't he already on the roster?
He is, but I just haven't heard anything about him, so I figured maybe he wasn't.
I feel like he's been injured and hasn't done anything. A mixture of those two.
Yeah, I think he's just the third or fourth best player on his team.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got Mitchell, you got Bogdanovich, and then you got Gobert. He's probably, I think Ingles might be better than him. Joe Ingles. I don't know, but yeah. So we're looking. I mean, I think Taco might get called up, just for fun. Why not have him sit on the bench as that 15th player? The Celtics know they won't win
You
it.
never know.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing about it is, teams got to think like almost about like stamina and things, like players who are going to be able to just rock through a season. They might be looking for experience. You know, not that I don't think Taco can play the game, but I think it's going to be a pretty grueling few weeks of just,
Basketball.
Yeah.
That's all that they get.
And I think they were talking about moving up the date, as well as condensing the playoffs and games they will play into shorter, so they're more along the timeline of a normal season. So,
Right.
on top of, nobody playing basketball for 2 or 3 months, you're talking about coming back, playing 8 regular season games, and then having the quickest playoffs that there ever was. So you have players like, Kawhi and those guys who are on this load management stuff, Embiid. I mean, what's going to happen with them?
I do think, yeah, Embiid is going to have a really tough time. I mean,
they're going to have to play at their best. No exceptions.
I think Kawhi is capable of playing it. He's just going to have to knuckle down and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that if it comes down to like a game 7, he'll go in there and play. But the question is, will that have effects on the next series?
Right. Maybe he comes in a little tired.
What's like Kawhi's pre-existing condition? Does he have one, or does he just not want to play?
A little bit of both.
Right.
He's had some knee and ankle issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a knee injury back when he was with the Spurs, and it's like a super rare one because Greg Popovich was talking about how he had like never heard of this injury or never had to dealt with it in his 20 years, but both Tony Parker and Kawhi had the same injury. And then the big thing that season was that, Tony Parker's like 10 or 12 years older than Kawhi, and Tony Parker came back from the injury and Kawhi didn't. So
right.
I
think
heard
Kawhi's worried that is a lot more worried about injury than some players. Even players that are already pretty worried about him typically, he's like, I think it keeps him up at night that he might just not be able to play basketball.
Yeah. Ooh,
Which I guess is fair.
Yeah, what if, I just remember this. LeBron ended, was it last season with injury?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
with
out for his quad or something.
Yeah, he had a partial tear in his groin, I think.
Yeah. Because that's really...
Yeah, but LeBron...
yeah.
LeBron's going to play.
Yeah. But,
well,
I mean,
think,
that's the first LeBron injury that I remember.
Yeah. I think, though, that he was available late in that season. They just didn't push him forward because they knew they weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
And now they have Anthony Davis.
And
right.
And Danny Green.
And yeah.
And Dwight Howard.
I'm sad that they didn't sign Patrick McCaw. Because if you don't know this, side note, Patrick McCaw is the most winningest player of all time, unofficially. Because I think he's won the last 3 or 4 championships in a row.
Huh.
Because he was on the Warriors for a bit, and then hopped over to the Raptors when they stopped. I don't think he was on the Cavs, but the last couple that the Warriors won, and then the Raptors. So whoever
He's
signs
been
him,
in it, all of them.
yeah. So whoever signs him,
Guaranteed to win.
guaranteed to win.
At least to show up.
Yeah, we have news that the Magic have signed Patrick McCaw.
Is it putting him to the test?
And they've won the championship.
Can you
I
imagine? Patrick McCaw is actually the GOAT.
No, he
He's
doesn't.
just
He
like-
doesn't play.
He's just
It's his
the
presence.
best locker room guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be the best coach. He's gonna be Steve Kerr after he becomes a coach. He'll just win a bunch when he played and kind of help. You know, that's not fair. Steve Kerr did help a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Kerr is a great 3-point shooter, and and he happens to be the coach for 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Probably had
Of all
nothing to
time.
do with it. Yeah, of all time. Probably had nothing to do with it though.
I mean, it probably had everything to do with it.
Right,
You're right, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that. I think they were great before he showed up, but I think Steve Kerr, being who
Only
he is and understanding how good someone can be at the 3 and giving them the green light to just go and shoot their shot because he knows they can make it because he was that guy. I think that's what it was versus like Mark Jackson. Like, yeah, they were good, but he really wanted them to get to the basket. All right, boys. Are we wanting to hop into a special segment today? Our expansion draft.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Benny, do you want to explain what's going to go on here?
Okay, so here's the plan. We're gonna pick. So Zane's gonna go first. He's gonna pick the city that his team is gonna be placed in. And then he'll take his first pick for the draft. And we're gonna pick 5 players as our starters, and then a 6th man. And I guess we'll discuss teams after that.
Yeah. And I'm going to make a little list here of draft results. Okay. Zane, you want to
So,
start
Zane-
us off?
Yeah, give us your.
Give us your
Well,
name.
I mean, it might be the simplest city to choose, but I gotta choose Seattle.
That's
I'm
fair.
choosing Seattle.
And our list of cities has run out.
Ah,
Nope, I've got a few.
Oh, my list of cities has run out.
Oh, dang.
oh no, Jamaica, Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got to take your first pick. Maybe
Well-
lay out his position so Caleb can put him in order.
Let me give you this quick little think about it. I
You're giving
think
us a quick-
I think I think I'm gonna choose Keita Bates Diop. All right.
All right.
He's small forward or power forward.
I'm just going to throw him in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add to your pick there?
Why I chose him?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think he's shown a lot of flashes of potential. He's a pretty good shooter on corner threes, and I mean, you don't have to pay him a lot, but he's definitely worth a first pick.
Yeah. I like it.
I think he can develop a lot too. He's got a huge threshold.
No, I agree. Nice. All right. I will.
Caleb, that means you're next.
Well, for my city, I don't even know. Honestly, Seattle's the only one that's like realistic as of now. But I'm gonna. I think I've got two on my mind that I'm trying to decide between. And I think Benny knows the other one that I might choose. So I'm going to choose the one that I don't think he knows about. I'm going to go to Vancouver.
Ooh, Vancouver was on my list.
It was on your list. Okay. Well,
I hope we have the same list.
Yeah. I'll let you know what my other one is once you choose. But yeah, I'm going to go with Vancouver as a throwback to when the Grizzlies were there. And as my first pick, oddly enough, I'm going to choose my sixth man for my first overall draft pick. And that man will be the son of Manute, Mr. Bol Bol.
Ooh, I knew you were gonna.
My reason for drafting this guy is, it's an expansion draft. I'm not really losing anything by taking him. But also, this guy could be a 7-2 Kevin Durant. He could be what Thonmaker was supposed to be. Like, I mean, he's
on my list.
He's dealing with injuries right now, but I think his upside is super high. I mean, he could be the next Embiid, or he could be something we've never seen before.
He's got a huge ceiling. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. My city is San Diego. The original home of the Clippers.
Okay.
Before they became the Los Angeles Clippers.
The home of Philip Rivers' many children.
He's with the Colts now.
Yeah, doesn't mean he doesn't live in San Diego still.
Yeah. Benny, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was not my other city.
What was it?
It was Las Vegas.
Oh, I didn't even think of Vegas.
See,
my next one after that was St. Louis.
That's another good city, yeah.
What about Austin, Texas?
Well, there's already 3. There's like 4 teams within a 2-hour drive of Austin, Texas.
All right.
Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh boy, I've got a tough pick here actually.
Des Moines, Iowa.
I think I'm gonna go for Josh Hart.
Okay.
I think he showed a pretty decent amount of potential with Los Angeles when I was watching him there, and I think he's only going to improve in New Orleans, and I'll take him and put him right in my shooting guard position, and he'll just take the threes.
Nice.
He'll just take them and eat them up.
Hopefully he'll play like he's played in Summer League when he was playing with Kuzma, putting up like 30 to 40.
So I also, since we're doing the Serpentine rules, I get the first pick of the second round, right?
Yes.
So I think I'm gonna take Rondo.
Okay.
I think we know what he brings as a point guard on defense. He's got the effort, and I think you need to get a solid presence of experience in there, or else your team is just gonna fall apart.
Yeah, definitely. And he's always been a pass first kind of guy, so he'll still be good even at his age.
Right. And I mean, playoff Rondo is no joke.
Yeah. All right. Is it me?
That means, yep, it's you.
Okay. Got a couple guys here I'm looking at. I'm gonna take Reggie Jackson. So I think Reggie Jackson's a good pick because he studied under Westbrook. Obviously, he played on the Pistons, and no one can do great things wearing a Pistons uniform. So I think he ended up getting moved to the Clippers later in the season and was a really good role player for them. But I think he's probably one of the best point guards out here, as far as the mix of scoring and playmaking.
There's no doubt.
He's not nearly the playmaker that Rondo is, but he also brings more scoring than he does. So he's more of a balanced player.
Yep. Shoots pretty strong. 36% 3-point shooting last year.
Yeah. All right, Zane.
That's a strong pick, I think.
I'd take old Kevin Looney.
Kavan.
I mean,
Yeah, Benny's
He's-
right.
you know, he's athletic and he can play, and he's proven that on the biggest stage multiple times. It just depends on if he can stay healthy, but I think that he can.
Yeah,
I think that's a solid pick.
definitely. I mean, we're talking about a champion right there.
That's right.
He brings a decent defensive presence also.
Yeah.
All right, Zane, you're doubling up on this.
Oh, I'm doubling up. All right. I'll take Isaac Bonga.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just that raw talent, you know, skill, and massive threshold still, and he's only 20 years old with such a high upside.
Yeah. And can I ask, what position are you playing him at?
I don't know. I would just rotate him.
So 6-man?
Yeah, probably my 6-man. I mean, yeah. I think I'd probably put him at power forward and then put old Diop as small forward.
Okay. Because the thing with Bonga is that he's kind of seen as being one of those guys, kind of like Giannis or LeBron, where he's probably a small forward, power forward in reality, but he's been listed as point guard before.
Yeah.
Because of his playmaking skill. Nice pick.
Yeah, that's a solid pick right there.
Yeah. All right, back to me.
Back to you.
All right. Yeah. Well, I got Bol, my 6-man. I got Reggie Jackson. See, part of me wants to take Taco, just for the meme, but
I have never drafted with you before, and you've not had the biggest team.
yeah, that's true. We did do that 2K league where I was just like, what was my point guard, like 6'10", 6'11", and then I had
Yeah.
like Boban and oh yeah, that was fun. Because I just played you in the post the whole time. Yeah. Okay. It's between two or three here for me. Okay. I'm gonna take Jabari Parker. And I realize that's a little bit controversial because he's been injured /
Yeah.
didn't live up to his potential with the Bucks /
But he's got potential.
yeah. I mean, he's what, 24? Like, he's not that old, right? How old is okay, he's 25.
Not that old.
Yeah. He's 25. But like, he's one of those guys that like everybody's kind of given up on, even though he's only 25. Kind of like Thon Maker. Thon Maker's like 22, and everyone's already like, oh, his career's over. Like, no. I think Jabari showed with the Kings this season that he is a consistent scorer, and he can put up those big numbers for you when you need him to.
No doubt he has potential. Alright. My next pick. Another difficult one for me. I think I want... I'm kind of stuck here. Oh, but I get 2, so I could mess up and get another one.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna take Harrison Barnes.
Hmm.
I think he's kind of like Jabari Parker, where people have expected a lot from him for a long time, and he just hasn't got there. But put him in the right situation, and he gets to take some shots. I mean, he had close to 20 points a game with Dallas.
Yeah.
Not that Dallas was any good that year.
Because he was their best player.
Yeah,
He would have been better if he played in Austin.
there's no doubt about it. So my next pick is Iguodala.
And what position are you playing Iggy at? / Barnes, because they're the two deciders. Or are you playing him at 6-man?
I think I'm gonna put Iggy at 6-man. I don't know. I'm gonna have a real lopsided roster here, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got-
You can play small ball.
I've got 3 guards at this point.
Yeah. I do think. So side note, the only reason Harrison Barnes is on this list, because he is one of the better players for the Kings, is because I think realistically they'd let him go into the expansion draft to get rid of his giant contract. Because I think he's still on his Mavs contract, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he might have gotten a giant one with the Kings. But yeah. Iggy's a good pick, Benny. Why'd you pick Iggy?
Similar to why I picked Rondo. He's got the experience. He brings the leadership that I think the team needs, especially if it's gonna have, some young guys who haven't really figured it out yet. I think he's gonna bring defense. He's gonna bring willingness to pass, which is important. But he's also capable of putting it down if he's got to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely old, but he's still got a couple years in the tank.
Yeah. And I think at this point he's definitely still a great defender.
Yeah. He's still got the effort that's there, and can't argue that he's got the rings to back up what he's done.
Yeah. Okay. I am next. And I've already decided what my pick will be. Maybe.
We're waiting.
I guess I'm gonna take Marc Gasol.
Ooh, that was on my list too. He's probably one of the better players on the list.
Yeah, I didn't take him last round because he's, getting up there in age. But yeah, he won a championship last year. He wasn't like the best player on that Raptors team, but he was definitely a great role player and contributor. He still plays amazing defense. He's still able to score. And in my theory, he's going to be a good mentor for Bol as my 6-man.
That's no doubt. You need that leadership.
All right. Well, I think that I'm gonna take TJ McConnell.
All right. Old 76er boy.
Yeah, good point guard in there. And then, I mean, I don't really have a reason other than he's got, he's played in bigger games. I mean, he's got that leadership potential, and he's not super old. He's only 28, so. And then, since I get that nice serpentine, I think I'd take Avery Bradley.
I wanted him.
Disappointment. That's a good
That's
pick.
shooting guard.
That's exactly who I was gonna take next.
I was thinking about him or Quinn Cook.
Mm. Oh, Quinn Cook's out
Because
there?
Quinn Cook's got to be got to at least be my favorite sixth man in the league right now.
Thanks for pointing that out, Zane, because I picked next before Benny.
Oh, what?
No, no.
Yeah, but
No, I'm
Avery
just kidding.
Bradley, I think he's just a step up from Quinn Cook. That's why I chose him.
He brings that
And
defense.
yeah, he's definitely got the defense. And he's just, he's young too. Well, I guess not so much. I mean, he's young. I don't know. He's 29, but he's
He's
gonna
still
play
got
well.
years in the
He's
tank.
gonna play well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an elite defender still.
He's super strong on defense.
With no major injuries. Yeah, dude. He'll be good for a while. Especially if he doesn't. We don't have to rely on him on all the points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Caleb. Go
Okay.
draft Quinn Cook now.
See, I don't want him. I was just
Fair
messing
enough.
with Benny. I'm just trying to decide what I want to do here. You know what? I'm gonna save my debate for my last pick, and I am going to take. Ooh. Patrick McCaw's out there, and as we know from earlier, that he's a guaranteed finals win. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take Alec Burks. So Alec Burks is on the Sixers right now, isn't he? I think they traded for him, but
Maybe.
basically just to score, go in there. Great 3-point shooter. He played the first part of the season with the Warriors. He was with Utah before that. Yeah, pretty much. Not your main scoring option, but he can go out there and get you a good amount of buckets.
A good guy to bring up.
Yeah. All right, Benny, you taking Quinn Cook?
So, since I get 2 picks,
Yeah.
my first pick is gonna be Quinn Cook.
Dude, he's a stud.
And my second pick is gonna be Larry Nance Jr. So now that I've got my 6 guys picked, I'm gonna put them in their spots here. So I think Rondo's got to play point guard. I think Rondo's got to play point guard. Quinn Cook is gonna play shooting guard. Barnes is gonna play small forward. Or no, Barnes is gonna play power forward. Josh Hart will play small forward, and Larry Nance will play center.
Ooh, interesting. So you're going with a little bit of small ball.
Yes.
Because Larry Nance is
6'7".
Is he 6'7"? Is that all?
Yep. That's all he's got.
I thought he was like. Oh, I guess his dad was 6'10".
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not huge, but I think he brings a little bit more athleticism than a traditional center.
Yeah, he played.
And
He was in the dunk contest, right?
yeah, he played well when he was side by side with LeBron, so I think he'd be able to play well with a decent small forward in the like with Josh Hart and Harrison Barnes switching out and Iguodala on the bench. I think Iggy can help kind of bring Larry Nance's defense up a little bit, because I think Larry Nance has the capability of playing great defense. He just never given that effort.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm happy with my picks, but I feel like I could have done it better.
And I think you got a good team there.
I think that's a good team.
We'll read through the whole teams once we finish here. Okay, I'm up next, and I'm gonna let you inside my little predicament here I've gotten myself into. So I have a point guard, a center, a shooting guard, a power forward / small forward. So I need a small forward or a power forward. So
Right.
I'm looking at here on my list, and I got Rudy Gay, Jeff Green, or Jahlil Okafor. So I would take Rudy Gay, because I think he's technically better than Jeff Green. But I think Rudy Gay just has this track record of not getting it done and losing and taking too many buckets. I think it's between Jeff Green and Jahlil Okafor. It's between if I want to take an elite scorer in Jeff Green, who's really undervalued, or if I want to play, like Benny said, and have a giant team with Jahlil Okafor, who is also underrated.
I think the person that I see you picking is Okafor.
See, you know what? We're going to take Okafor just so I can talk about him for a second.
I really like that is who I thought you were gonna pick.
I would have taken Jeff Green.
Okay. Any other time I would have taken Jeff Green, but I'm taking Jahlil Okafor so I can talk about him for a second because he doesn't get talked about enough. He is on the New Orleans Pelicans right now. When he gets to play, which I think he did a good amount this year with Zion out, like he can put up 18 and 8 consistently. Like he's an elite post scorer. I mean, people don't play that way anymore, apparently. It's kind of like Embiid. If they gave him the ball, he could get you points. But nobody ever plays him because nobody wants to pass it into the post. But I will.
Right.
I will. I'm taking him. Okay, Benny. Or no, Zane, sorry.
I think I'd take Al Horford as my sixth man.
Is he out here?
Yeah, he is.
He is out here.
What? Oh, crap.
I saw him earlier and I never...
Al Horford.
Al Horford is your sixth man?
Well, maybe not. But yeah, I'll put him as my sixth man. Well, I think he's gonna play center, so he's gonna go in and out between Kevin Looney. You could put Looney. I mean, yeah, Looney could be sixth man. I mean, I think that it doesn't matter because they're gonna flop all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy, honestly.
I think I know the reason that Al Horford's on here. I think it's the same reason that Harrison Barnes is on here, is that technically they're within those top 6 on their team, but Horford got an atrocious contract that I think the 76ers would want to get rid of if given the opportunity.
For sure.
Even though he is like an elite defender and 3-point shooter and
I think I've got I think I really honestly have a very balanced team.
Yeah, why don't you read off who you got?
So
Let's start with your point guard and end with your sixth, and you can choose whoever you want. I kind of just labeled.
No, I put T.J. McConnell as my point guard. Avery Bradley as my shooting guard. Keita Bates Diop as small forward, and then Isaac Bongo as power forward. Or Bonga is what it is.
Yeah, it's Bongo.
As power forward. I see you wrote Bongo. I was like, what the hell?
we have some mistyping.
I see you spelled that wrong. I was like, why is that? But that's okay. And then, I mean, really, okay, I'll put Al Horford as center, and then Kevin Looney as my sixth man.
I'm a little bit jealous because I'm big into defending and good defending teams, and your team is very good at defending. You got T.J. McConnell, who's a hustle guy. You got Avery Bradley, great defender. Al Horford, great defender. I'm not really sure if Bates Diop is like amazing, but I know Kevin.
Hey, he's from Iowa State.
Looney is. He is?
Pretty sure.
I don't think he is.
I know he played for the Iowa Wolves.
I think that's it. Yeah. Where did he go? He went to
Ohio State.
Yes. Yeah, any notes on your team, Zane? Anything you want to say about them?
I think they're better than your team.
Okay. Well,
chill.
We'll move on to
hey,
my team.
Hey. Post down there in the comment section who had the better team.
Yeah. I'll try and throw up a little clip of teams so you can look at it while we're talking. But for my team at point guard, I got Reggie Jackson. I think a guy who could put up, maybe 17 points, 7 assists, a couple rebounds. I got at shooting guard Alec Burks. I think he can put up 18 points a game, just score. I got Jabari Parker at small forward. I think kind of the same thing, could put up like 18, 6, and 2, and a decent shooter to go along with the other two. I got Jalil Okafor at power forward. Definitely should have taken Jeff Green to go with the theme of this team, but Jalil Okafor, we're gonna pass him the ball. He's gonna put up 20 and 10 for us on like 60% shooting because he won't miss. And then we have Marcus Gasol, who can anchor us down in the middle, put up like 16 and 8, have some good defensive stats to anchor us in the middle. If anyone decides to drive, which they obviously won't nowadays with Steph and Clay shooting from half court. And then my sixth man is Bol Bol. He doesn't need to play. He will be for the future. My love. That is all.
I love the video of Manute Bowl in the swimming pool.
Wait, what?
Have you not seen that picture of Manute Bowl in the swimming pool?
No, I'm gonna add that to something to look up after this.
It's a good old time.
All right, I got that up here to look at after.
You haven't seen that?
No. It looks like Slender Man.
It's good, dude. It's good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Benny.
All right. Y'all all right? Okay, so can anyone actually see this on the? We shouldn't talk about it if no one can see it in the video.
Benny, I'm gonna throw up a picture of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually do a decent job of editing it this time.
Because that's frightening. Okay. So Rondo is obviously my point guard. I mean, there's a lot of obvious reasons. I think he's gonna come out and give us, decent defensive pressure. He's a 10 and 10 guy, 10 points, 10 assists. So I'm stuck here. I've got a few lineups that I think I can run. Either I'll run Josh Hart at shooting guard or Quinn Cook. I think Quinn Cook will sit as my sixth man. But I have an ultimate small ball lineup here where Quinn Cook plays shooting guard, Josh Hart plays small forward, Iggy is the power forward, and Harrison Barnes plays center. And then Larry Nance sits on the bench and watches.
See, I didn't realize when you said ultimate small ball, you were talking about the Houston Rockets. Well, actually, that's better than the Houston Rockets because Harrison Barnes is like 3 or 4 inches taller than PJ Tucker.
Right. So, but I think the more realistic lineup is Rondo at the 1 with Josh Hart at the 2. I think Josh Hart's going to just have to put up as many points as he can get away with, try to create some defensive pressure, and just kind of play an effort ball kind of style. Iggy is going to be the general on the front court, I guess. He's going to be trying to make sure that our Larry Nance and Barnes are in the right spot and that he's taking away as much offense as the opponent's small forward can bring up. We know the small forward position's pretty deep these days. Harrison Barnes is probably the best scorer on my team. He's going to have to weather a pretty heavy load of carrying some points down. I think Larry Nance is a guy who's going to do the other 10 and 10 that Rondo can't do. He's going to get, 10 points, 10 rebounds. He's averaging almost 2 steals a game right now. But I think if he's playing center, he might be able to bump his blocks up to 1.5-ish a game. So,
yeah.
Quinn Cook's a guy who's just going to come off the bench and bring a new energy. Bada bing, bada boom.
Nice.
I do think you should have taken Jeff Green though.
Well, it would have gone more at the team, but I wanted to talk about my views on Jalil Okafor.
I think Zane's got probably the youngest team.
Shot for a lot of young players.
I would say, besides Al Horford kind of messed you up there, but...
And Avery Bradley's not terrible.
Yeah.
No, but the rest of them are 26 and younger.
Yeah. I think
you need a little bit of leadership.
Age. Yeah, you gotta have some age in there.
I think they're all good teams. I think one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is there's no bad player in the NBA. So any of these guys, if they're given starter minutes, if they're given the chance to go out there, they're gonna put up their points. They're gonna perform pretty well. I mean, look at like Christian Wood this year. He was a guy who hadn't really been stayed on a roster for any longer than like summer league, maybe a full season with one or two teams, but I don't think even that. But then he comes up for the Detroit Pistons after doing great for New Orleans, after doing great for the Bucks, but still getting cut, and he was putting up like 20 and 10 for the Pistons and doing super well. So I think that's the kind of teams we'd have, is guys, sleeper guys out there that can do well.
Right. I mean, I think I was looking for a lot of effort guys with a lot of gas left in the tank.
Yeah, you got playoff Rondo.
Playoff Rondo is the ultimate effort guy.
You got Quinn Cook.
Well, assuming you make the playoffs, he would only be playoff Rondo if.
Well, there's only 3 of us. So.
That's fair. I'm gonna have to.
I picked very defensive heavy because I'm playing. I mean, I need points, but you know, in Seattle, I'm clearly playing in the West.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take these teams into 2K, see what happens.
We're all in the West.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, we're done.
You're right.
Well,
I knew San Diego, but I was like Vancouver. Oh, Vancouver is just north. Oh, it's just up there.
Actually, yeah, we're all on the
right
coast,
above.
even.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'd like to announce that my team is moving to Providence, Rhode Island, to be in the East.
So you get a better chance.
Yes.
I think it's a much bigger market than Vancouver.
I'm assuming Tampa.
What? No.
What?
Providence, Rhode Island. Bigger market than Vancouver. That's where I'm going.
I'm gonna move to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh.
And Zane, were you hitting up? Were you hitting up Florida?
St. Paul, bro.
St. Paul.
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Yeah, I'm gonna be better
Shared
than the
stadiums with the Timberwolves.
No, I don't want that trash. No.
Whoa.
Is that wait? Are they Chick-fil-A stadium or arena?
They're the Target Center.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now who's Chick-fil-A? Who has Chick-fil-A?
Someone has a Chick-fil-A arena?
I think so.
Let's see. San Diego.
Only one way to find out.
San Diego.
San Diego.
I don't know. I mean, what team is in San
Who
Diego?
has that?
That might be a hockey arena.
Could be.
That makes no sense because their sandwiches are so warm and crispy.
They're going to be a basketball arena soon, don't worry.
The Falcons' new stadium, Chick-fil-A. What? I'm so confused.
So,
Oh, dude, the
Not
Bucks
that I-
announced that they have a Chick-fil-A fan zone now, though.
not that I don't think Chick-fil-A is a solid topic for us.
I'll tell you what. I had a
On-
lot of Chick-fil-A today, actually.
I'm on Grubhub right now ordering.
Good.
Sorry, what were you saying, Benny?
Our next
eat more
topic is kind of an add-on to this one. It's the which player would you start a team with today? I think we can take our 6 guys we have now and maybe drop one real pick in there. One guy that if we could have anybody, we'd add him on there and
Bentham.
suddenly have a team.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we choose 2 guys? I'm gonna throw a curveball at you here, Benny. We're gonna choose 2 guys.
Boy.
So one
Okay.
guy is the one player, like you said, that you would choose out of anybody. So this could be anybody up to LeBron all the way down to who's the worst player in the league, Anthony Bennett. And then our second player is gonna be a mid-tier guy that just missed this list that you think that I thought a team would save, like kind of a mid-tier guy. So I'm talking
Okay.
not an all-star, but
Close.
close. Yeah, he could be like the second or third star on a team.
All right.
With your guy, tell us your pair. I don't know if you guys have anybody in mind.
I have a few guys in mind, but I think we'll pick again. Same order, I suppose. Zane can go first.
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah, we'll switch the order so Benny can go first. Well, Zane,
I've got a guy.
thinks here.
I gotta,
Oh, boy.
I gotta find this guy. Why can't I think of his name? I don't know.
So I'm gonna add Luca.
Okay.
I know you probably expected LeBron, but
And are we doing the same rules as last one, where once they're off the board, they're off the board?
yeah.
Okay.
I assume. I mean, I suppose
I'm just making sure because I was also gonna pick Luca. If you
okay.
So
I
the
need
guy.
to pick my mid-tier guy to go with Luca.
why don't you
Wait now.
just explain your
rotate.
Luca pick and then we'll do the Serpentine
Okay.
back.
So my Luca pick basically is just to fill what I thought is a pretty gaping hole in my forward position. I think that Iggy is better on the bench, and Harrison Barnes can play power forward, but not if. I think he needs a better small forward to go next to him. Luke is also young, and he's capable of giving you the 40 a night that my team needs, because I don't think I have enough offense. So I think if you throw Luka in there, get some pretty strong point production out of him. You open up Harrison Barnes to get some, Josh to get some, and you might even open the lane a little bit for Larry Nance to get a little more. And I think Iggy will do better off the bench. When he doesn't have to play 36 plus minutes a game, he can just play 26 or so and give you the effort you need there. And Quinn Cook is still best on the bench, I think.
I'm gonna ask you this quick question.
Okay.
How do you think your team will do with Rondo and Luka on the floor?
How do you mean?
I mean, Luka's a ball dominant guy. He's going out there getting triple doubles. He's obviously like a great passer. But then you're talking about Rondo, who, I mean, he can pass. I don't know that he can. He might be able to shoot at this point in his career, but he's never really been known as a scorer. Like, which one do you play off ball?
I think Luka's got to. You're right. I hear what you're saying, but I think Rondo's gonna have to just be the guy who, if he's not gonna play, he's not gonna initiate every play. He's gonna have to suck up and play some defense when he's got to, and show up and be the effort guy. I think he's gonna do plenty, even if he doesn't take the ball up every single time. And on a team like this, I think I've got really strong spacing, honestly. Luka can play anywhere. Josh Hart's going to sit on the wings and in the corner, probably. And Harrison Barnes can play pretty much anywhere, too. So I think I've got good enough spacing that if Rondo doesn't take the ball up every time, he can kind of be wherever he needs to be. Yeah, my second guy is tough though. Like, I really would like to take a center, but I can't think of a really strong mid-tier center.
Well, that's okay, Benny,
Well,
because we're gonna go in a serpentine draft. So we'll hit me up for my all-star player, for my
okay.
the guy, and then we'll hit up Zane, and then we'll double up on Zane if he's ready for that, or come back to you. We'll figure it out once we
Okay,
get
go
there.
ahead.
For my guy to start, to add to my team, I have to take Giannis.
Yeah.
I think, because I have that glaring problem with the greatest power forward of all time, Jahlil Okafor. Um, yeah. So I think Giannis will be good because again, guy to help with the development of Bol Bol, but I think he will fit a lot better into that power forward position, and Reggie, kind of like what I was talking about with Reggie Jackson. He's not the playmaker that Rondo is. So I think that will allow Giannis to be on ball a lot more and take over a little bit more of that playmaking responsibility, kind of like you see in Milwaukee, where Eric Bledsoe, I would say, is a little bit less of a playmaker than Reggie Jackson is, but it still works out there because Giannis has the ability to do that, as well as bringing in 30 points per game, like 15 rebounds, just all around great player.
I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Giannis.
No, I can play him at whatever position I want.
Yeah, and he'll
Giannis
fill whatever
is
position.
gonna be that guy no matter what, too.
Yeah. I think he's one of the only players in the league right now with the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Kobe Bryant was a huge supporter of his, helped him out a lot. But yeah. Zane.
Well, I think my number one player is clear.
Ben.
Would you like to take a guess?
Is it Ben? Ben Simmons?
See, I was thinking, but I'm really torn. I really am torn.
Is it Joel?
I'll tell you, I have three guys in mind,
Okay.
and I think all three of them are really good.
Who you got?
But I
Well,
think I.
List out your three, and kind of like with my Jalil thing.
Okay.
We'll.
So I do have Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have Trey Young.
Hmm.
And I also have.
Trey Young.
Yeah, I think Trey Young is a solid guy to build around.
Yeah.
I also don't. I mean, this guy would probably be my second guy since he was a rookie. Ja Morant.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
But
yeah,
I thought that if he
you
could have been an all-star.
you might as well take him as your second, because I mean
Yeah.
the stipulation on the second guy has not been an all-star yet.
I think I go Ben Simmons and then Ja Morant.
I think that's good. I think Trey Young would have been good, but it would not have gone along with the defensive mindset of your team because he has none.
I think that Ben Simmons can play defense, but he's also going to put up enough points for it to really count.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ja Morant's just going to go throw up whatever you need him to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he proved that in his rookie season. But that's why I had Trey Young in mind, because last season Trey Young was averaging 29.6 points per game.
Trey Young is definitely a beast.
I think Ja can do that, though.
I think Ja can do that too. I think Ja is a better Trey Young if you.
I think he can play defense too.
Yeah.
He's like Westbrook. He's basically Westbrook.
Right?
It's just
with
I
a
was
jump shot.
very torn.
Yeah, and I think Ben Simmons is honestly just a 6'10" Rondo. In a way. He's very good on defense. Partially because he's playing against people like 10 inches shorter than him, but
I think Ben Simmons has a small amount of that Mamba mentality too. I wouldn't say he's got enough of as much as Giannis, but he's definitely got it.
Yeah, I think with more experience and being more comfortable,
Yeah.
shooting the ball from
Not
all.
always being seen as the second man on the team might do him some positive work.
And shooting the 3-for-1s, even if it is at 30%.
33.3%.
Shout out to our last podcast.
100% in the preseason.
Yeah. Okay. So I was not at all thinking about my second guy when we got here. So at first I was thinking Christian Wood, but then I took Giannis.
Kostas.
Take Kostas. I already have Giannis. I don't need to take Kostas to lure Giannis.
Oh.
Shout out. being called out there, Lakers. Dang, I had somebody in mind. You know, I'm gonna take Christian Wood, and my reasoning for this is, I think Christian Wood is a solid player. I don't know that he'll ever make an All-Star team, but I think he is similar to a Tobias Harris, where he's been very undervalued by the teams he's been on so far, even though he's put up really good numbers, and he just needs to find a place where that will keep him around and give him shots and allow him to do his thing. So that will be my team. So the reason I'm taking Christian Wood is I think he can, like I said before, put up 20 and 10 easily. He's a great player. He put up 32 and 9 during a game when he had the coronavirus.
Infamous.
Yeah, his version of the flu game. But then I think this will allow us to throw Marc Gasol and Okafor and Bull on the bench, all our tall guys, you know. And we can run Reggie Jackson at point guard, Alec Burks at shooting guard, Jabari at small forward, Giannis at power forward, and Christian Wood at center. Or flip Giannis and Christian Wood like they're around the same size, but you'd still have Giannis on ball for most of the game. So you could play small ball. All those guys in that lineup can shoot the three. Well, besides Giannis, but that's not important. Kyle Korver's on his team now. He can do great. But yeah, I'm choosing Christian Wood. That is all.
Alright. Done some thinking here. I think my second guy I'm going to take is Bam Adebayo.
Ooh.
Off of Miami to play my center position. He's got the clear athleticism. He's gotten noticeably better this year since he's been able to play some minutes. And he fills a pretty gaping hole in my lineup at the center. I think he's going to do a lot better job than Larry Nance would. And I think similar to Iggy, I think Larry will just be better off the bench. He doesn't have to be out there all the time, but he can come and just bring some energy.
Yeah.
But a decent.
That is a good pick. I'm kind of upset.
I'd like to see these teams in 2K now.
I might throw
with
him in
these.
2K this week. See what happens. Benny,
Yeah,
I'm upset at your Bam pick because I think
Okay.
Bam is Dwight Howard with better playmaking.
Yeah. I was looking at his numbers. He's put up some pretty monster numbers this year. He had 16.9 points with 10 rebounds. That's not shabby. Five assists. I think he had a block and a steal also.
That's a lot of assists to average for a season for a center, especially.
Right.
And if you didn't know this, he was on your fantasy team this year. I don't know if you checked it, but he was putting up. He got some triple doubles this year too.
Benny never checked his fantasy team.
I know.
Whoa, guys.
Every day I was like, hey man, what would it take for Anthony Davis?
I just said, nah.
And he said, Anthony Davis, never met him.
I never picked him.
But yeah, he had some triple doubles this year. Like he was playing really really good.
So I'll lay out my final roster here, and then Caleb, you can, and Zane can finish. My final roster is Rajon at point guard, Josh Hart at shooting guard, Luka at small forward, Harrison Barnes at power forward, Bam at center, Quinn Cook is my sixth man, and then Iggy and Larry Nance are my bench.
Nice. Okay. Well, for me, we might mix it up, but we'll see. We're gonna go Reggie Jackson at point guard, Alec Burks. No. Okay. Switch up. I already said my other lineup. That would be the small ball lineup. We're gonna go with the big lineup for the real lineup. Point guard, Giannis. Shooting guard, Jabari Parker. Small forward, Christian Wood. Power forward, Bol. Center, Mark Gasol. So my shortest guy is Jabari Parker at 6'8". Everybody else is over 6'10".
I just hate it so much.
And I have Jahlil Okafor and Alec Burks off. Jahlil Okafor, Alec Burks, and Reggie Jackson off the bench.
I just hate how every time we draft anything, you've got this monster team.
Benny, it's because I was meant to live in the 60s, back when the monster team would do well with Wilt and Bill Russell and them, when those guys were dominating.
All right, Zane, what's your final lineup?
All right, well, I put Ben Simmons as point guard. I'd put Keita Bates Diop as small forward. Kevin Looney at center. Isaac Bonga as power forward. I'd put TJ McConnell at shooting guard, I think. Keep Avery Bradley at shooting guard. Ja Morant at point guard, and then Al Horford at center.
But who's your starting lineup, and who's
my starting lineup?
Bench?
Starting lineup would be Ben Simmons, Al Horford, Ja Morant, Isaac Bonga. That's 5, right?
That's 4.
That's 4. And then Bates would be as a power forward.
And who are you playing at point guard? Because you have 3 point guards in your lineup. Are you playing Simmons, Ja,
Well,
or Bonga?
I would put TJ McConnell at shooting guard.
For your
and
starting
keep
lineup?
Avery Bradley as yeah. Wait, who do I have?
I'm so lost.
I gotta write this down.
Okay.
I gotta write this down.
For five players, give me your...
Simmons at point guard.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Horford at center.
Okay.
Okay, I got Bonga at shooting guard. Oh man. I got Bates as power forward.
Okay.
I didn't think we would get this far. And then oh man, dude.
Wait,
why is Bonga as I don't even know what
Keep going, you got one more player.
I got Ja Morant.
Is Ja playing small forward?
Oh my god, no. Where am I? I don't even know, dude. It all switched out
Make
Ja
Ja
Morant would be my shooting guard and Bonga would be my small forward.
Okay. I thought you were about to throw TJ McConnell in there and be like, Ja's coming off the bench.
No.
Oh.
I was like, wait, hold on. Boy, funny shit.
Okay. Nice. Well, let's close out that section. Benny, this is your topic next. Do you wanna read this one off?
All right. So the next thing up is LeBron's Cavalier ring more impressive than Kawhi's Toronto ring? So a few arguments I've heard on the Kawhi side is one, that Toronto couldn't win anything without him. Then he gets there and he brings them to the championship and they win. Also that his team is weaker than the team LeBron brought when he won. Not weaker than every Cavalier team LeBron brought, but the one
Mhm.
when they won the championship. Honestly, the LeBron's argument is like the flip of Kawhi's. Basically, I think the key to this argument is deciding who had the worst supporting cast.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
yeah.
where are you at? What's your opinion?
My position is that LeBron's Cavalier ring is more impressive. I can lay some things out for you.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Kyrie is probably the second best player across both teams. But I think okay, take 2 steps back. I think LeBron and Kawhi equal each other out as far as quality of player in those playoff runs.
Mhm.
So I think if you make Kyrie the second best player, that I'll agree with that. But after that, I mean, I think Kawhi's got the next three in oh boy, what's Toronto's point guard's name?
Lowry.
Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, and Marc Gasol. I think Kevin Love is right around as good as Marc Gasol is, honestly. And then there's still Pascal Siakam, and yeah, Cleveland really outside of the big three, if you can put Kevin Love in that, didn't really have much. I mean, they had oh boy, I'm blanking on everybody's name. Well, I don't know. That's just kind of the. I just think LeBron's team was worse outside of himself and Kyrie.
Did they have Richard Jefferson the year they won? I think they did.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had
So they got Mo Williams. They got Verjao was gone, but Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith,
J.R. Smith
Shumpert,
is who I was trying to think of.
Kevin Love, James Jones, Jefferson, LeBron, Kyrie, Joe Harris, Channing Frye, Deladova. That's about it.
I mean, like, like I said, there's no doubt that Kyrie is the second best player.
Mhm.
Or the third best player, I guess. You know what I mean? The best guy outside of LeBron and Kawhi. I think Kyle Lowry might be the next after that.
Yeah.
And then there's a clump of like Marc Gasol, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Kevin Love. In my opinion. Tell me what you think on those guys.
Well, let me just pick up my jaw from the floor real quick. Because you disrespected my man Pascal Siakam hugely.
By putting him in the same conversation as Kevin Love?
Putting him below Kevin Love.
I didn't put him below. I'm just saying I think they're in like the same clump of like quality.
Gotcha.
I don't think Pascal put much more on the board than Kevin Love did in that championship run.
Okay.
Like today, I would take Pascal over Kevin Love. There's no doubt about that.
Gotcha.
But I think in whatever 2016, if you were like, you know, Kevin Love was definitely a solid player that playoff run. But I mean, like, think about J.R. Smith. Would you take Fred VanVleet over J.R. Smith? Like, yeah.
Well,
who else is really on there?
My thing is, I think the Raptors is more impressive.
Why?
So, I think if you look at LeBron's team, you're looking at, let's see, how long had LeBron been back with Cleveland? So he's been back with Cleveland for, this is his second year back with Cleveland. So he's assembled his team. He's got Kevin Love, who up until this point, before he came to Cleveland, was putting up like, what, 25 and 12, and absolutely dominating in Minnesota. He had the record for the most double-double games in a row with like 50-something. You got Kyrie, who obviously balled out in the playoffs. And you got some really solid role players in Richard Jefferson, J.R. Smith. This is J.R. Smith pre rebounding the ball and dribbling out.
Yeah, but how much did JR really do? Like,
J.R. Smith is a great scorer.
Yeah, he put up some solid 3-point shots.
We're talking about J.R. Smith before all this. Like, he was a great player for the Nuggets and for the Pelicans back in the day. Or not the Pelicans, for the Hornets.
We're talking about the playoff run.
Yeah. I mean, you got Tristan Thompson on here, and he's not anything special, but you know what he's going to give you. You got Iman Shumpert, who can lock down on defense. I mean, Deladova was balling out in that playoff series. We never saw that happen again.
No, sir.
But my reasoning is, I think if you look at LeBron's Miami team, when you assembled and you had, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron all come together in that first year, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're gonna win 7 straight, but they lose because they needed to figure out their team. I think it's more impressive that you take the Raptors team, who had DeRozan, got rid of him. I'm sure there are other pieces, Pascal Siakam improved and other things that kind of moved around and made it so that Kawhi was able to come in. But, I mean, that's the only notable thing that you can see on paper that changed, is that Kawhi came in and did that. And they had their problems as a team, but being able to come in 1 year, and completely flip around a franchise and win the title against the Warriors. Yes, there were injuries, but they were still doing pretty well before those injuries. Kawhi was balling out. Pascal Siakam, I would say, was his number 2 as far as trust, because I think he.
What about Danny Green?
Oh, Danny Green's on there too. Man.
I mean, think about, like, okay, I hear what you're saying.
And Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry obviously balled out too. But
I hear what you're saying. It is tough to just show up on a team, but you're forgetting that a lot of those guys had been together for a long time. Then Kawhi came in and with Danny, and they have their chemistry. Like, I hear what you're saying. It is impressive that they were able to kind of put it all together so quickly. But, like, when you have that, they really have a ton of talent. Like, even after, like, Kawhi, Pascal, they've also got, like, OG Anunoby, Serge Ibaka's on that team. Lynn Sanity's on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a decent amount of just pure talent on there.
Yeah, I would say they were probably a little bit deeper than the Cavaliers. But if you're looking at this Cavaliers team, this is not a bad Cavaliers team.
Well, no, they did win the finals.
I mean, this isn't one of the times that LeBron was like, I'm going to take all these scrubs with me. Like, Mo Williams, he put up 50 points in a game for the Cavs. I'm not sure if it was this season, but it was one of those seasons. Anderson Varejao was, like, a pretty decent power forward.
Yeah, but he was on Golden State at that point.
Yeah. And then
I mean, Mo averaged 8 points a game in that season. Shumpert, I don't know. I don't want to discount, like, Tristan Thompson was a beast, that's for sure. He was going to give you a 10-10. Kevin Love was solid that year.
Yeah. I mean, I think
he's still solid.
I think on paper, yes, the Raptors are better. But if you look at them up until that point, and if you even look at the Raptors now, they're obviously, like, doing well without Kawhi this year. But up until that point, you're talking about a team that year in, year out, on paper, you're looking at them and you're like, this is the year they break through. They got Lowry, they got DeRozan, they got Serge Ibaka now. They got Marcus Gasol. They got these other guys that are kind of coming up, getting better. Pascal, Fred VanVleet. You got Norman Powell, but they never made it past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
and then
did
and then
they
you
not
just
make it because LeBron was there, though?
no, they just didn't.
I
I mean,
mean,
who are they playing?
LeBron. I mean, look at what LeBron did to in uh his last year in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just saying, maybe part of Kawhi's march through those playoffs, he did play solid teams. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. Now I'm starting to want to argue the other side because it's fun.
I mean, we wouldn't be having this conversation if we were in the West. So if we're gonna say, LeBron was in the East, or it was in the West when Kawhi was in the East. That's why he walked easy. Well, Kawhi was in the West every time that LeBron was in the East. So
Right.
Who's to say? I think if you play the teams, the Raptors would win. As far as that, I think it's more impressive because it's a team that had never really had that level of player where they're like, oh, we have a chance to go for a run this year. But they finally had a team where they're like, oh, we can make a run this year and actually do well. Whereas Cleveland, for years and years and years and years, was like one step away from getting there. And then LeBron leaves to go and get his rings so he doesn't end up in the Charles Barkley conversation as the best who didn't win, and then comes back and wins. I'm not discounting that LeBron did amazing beating the Warriors in that season, in that playoff series, but I think Kawhi did better because you're not talking about Kawhi is sticking around Toronto for 5, 6, 7, 8 years trying over and over and over and over to get there and making it to the finals sometimes and not finishing.
Right. And Kawhi did do it in one try. LeBron only took 2 tries the one time he went back. I mean, then his team got shook up and they got to play Kevin Durant and
and Dellavedova didn't end up being good ever again.
Kawhi also played a pretty weak version of Golden State.
Yeah, but they weren't weak when it started.
Yeah, but
it was
the
fact that
they never were full strength though.
In what way?
Like, they never were all completely healthy with practice. Like, even the games when they were all playing, they were just coming back from injuries, so they were, a little less than 100%.
I mean,
then KD went down again, and Clay was never 100% the whole series. And
yeah, but it was their choice to come back and get injured. They could have waited a game or two. If the
but
we're saying how many All-Stars do the Warriors need to win?
Well, eventually it was just Steph.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna look at that, did the Warriors team that LeBron won against, did they have KD?
No, but they had
much deeper, younger bench.
Yeah.
Iggy was playing just so much better too.
But don't you think even having KD and Clay, even at not 100%, is better than having just Clay?
They had 60% of Kevin Durant for a game.
Yeah.
And then they had 80% of Clay for 4 games, right?
Yeah.
And so they had Steph. Sure, Steph was there, but Iguodala was a lot younger when they played Cleveland the first couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Livingston the same way. I think he definitely showed age in that series. Kevon Looney was really the only guy left on the team that could play meaningful minutes, like outside of the All Stars. They still have Draymond. That's something to consider. But the value of Draymond is the defensive effort and the rebounds and assists and everything, and it just wasn't as valuable against Toronto because Toronto was also bringing their own defensive pressure. Like,
What do you think, Zane?
I think that LeBron's is more impressive. I'll be honest. And I mean, yeah, no, I think that LeBron is the only player to come back from a 3-1 deficit.
That's fair.
Kawhi came out and just won. Like, he didn't have to play all of them all at once every time. I mean, I know that Durant wasn't there, but Kawhi also had help. But it's hard to say because Kyrie was with LeBron. I think that it's hard to have the opinion, but yeah, no, I think LeBron had the better team.
it is pretty close.
Better.
And I think Caleb's point of the sorry to interrupt you. I think Caleb's point about like Kawhi showing up and just getting it done. I that hadn't been brought up to me. I think that's a good point. That it didn't take him a year or two. It just kind of got done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that I think that's impressive.
And
now that might have been because they had a better coach. Like Cleveland went through one coach and then got Ty Lue, right?
Yeah, because they had David Blatt.
Right. So there could have been that. I think Toronto had better ownership too. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Better GM.
I mean, I don't know if anybody has as bad ownership as Cleveland.
The Knicks.
The Knicks?
Yes.
Never mind.
The Knicks, definitely, without a doubt.
Hornets.
Oh, hey, no, stop. Benny, okay, you're muted. That's it, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes in the penalty box. We're dipping into hockey right now.
Oh, boy.
Me and Zane got a power play.
Alright. You guys want to knock out maybe one more?
Yeah, do you guys want to hop into a wheel?
Sure.
You want to finish this out with a wheel?
Yeah, let's do a couple wheel spins.
Okay.
Wheel spins.
I'm gonna spin this wheel. So the wheels we have up today are wheels of what ifs. Things that didn't happen, but we will talk about what if they did. And wheel of failing team, where we get to step into the GM seat and say what we would do if we were given the job. So let's have a little spin here. And we have wheel of failing team. So
this is the one I prefer, I think.
Let's give it a little spin here. Let's see what we got. Ooh. I'm gonna spin again. We got Timberwolves, but
we already went over that.
We went over them last week, so I'm gonna give it one more spin, and I'm gonna be really interested to see if this sound comes through on the save here. Okay, here we go. We have the Detroit Pistons. Okay. Who wants to start us off?
Oh boy. So they've got Christian Wood, solid guy to keep there, I think.
D Rose.
D Rose is there. I think you want to burn Blake Griffin. No offense to Blake Griffin. But I don't think he's a guy worth building the team around if you're better to hit the reset and see where we can go. You might be able to get a decent pick for him.
Yeah.
Luke
Especially
Kennard.
to a team that's looking to win now.
Yeah, Blake Griffin might be a guy you to. Yeah, right. Like another mid-tier.
Really
team.
cash in on. Yeah.
Luke Kennard, I think, is pretty solid. I think you keep him. He's young. So I guess it depends on what you guys think you could get for
Griffin.
Blake Griffin. Like, I don't think you get a first-round pick. Maybe to the right team.
I'm trying to think where he'd go.
Maybe biff him onto Cleveland, like Andre Drummond.
Oh, so he can join his old teammate, Andre Drummond?
Yeah, yeah.
So they can form Pistons. Where is
2.0.
that? Pistons East in Cleveland. Well, let me look at some NBA standings here. Let's see what teams we got out there.
So Detroit.
Blake Griffin should get traded to the Dallas Mavericks.
What did they get for Andre Drummond?
Nothing.
Nothing. They just gave him up.
Not technically nothing, but yes, nothing.
Okay.
They got something, but its value was equal to nothing.
To nothing.
Yes. They literally just gave him away, rather than waiting until they gave him away in free agency and he left. So they were like, no, we don't let free agency just give you away. We're going to give you away ourselves.
So they've got just their own first-round picks.
Yeah.
So, maybe you can trade Blake Griffin to, like, Miami.
Okay. What are you getting back? Or what do you want back for Blake?
I think the best thing that you can get
Or
from
draft
Miami is the best pick they're willing to give, which I don't think is going to be a first-rounder.
Oh, well,
I
they'll
think
give
they give you a second rounder.
they'll give you a first rounder for Blake if they're not giving up any good players.
Fair.
I mean, yes, he's a little bit injury prone, but he's still Blake Griffin. Like, he might not be
Yeah, I think
all-star
I'd go-
caliber, but he's still...
I think I would try to trade Blake Griffin for that first-round pick of Miami's. I think Miami might be the only team that would take him. Maybe Oklahoma City.
Well, Benny, when it's my turn to sit in the GM chair, I tell you the other team that I think will take him.
Okay. So I think I trade Blake Griffin there, and then I've got to, like I said, I'm keeping Luke Kennard. Christian Wood is pretty good. Christian Wood's older than I thought he was.
Yeah,
24.
he bounced. I mean, that's not that old. He bounced
Might
around
as
the
well
league
keep
for a few years.
I don't know. I think Derrick Rose is the next guy you got to think about.
Yeah.
He's older than Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Same
I
age,
mean, but I don't know who you trade him with.
Back to the Timberwolves.
Yeah. Back to
Maybe
Chicago.
you could add him on
Back
to.
to Chicago.
Ooh, Chicago might be interesting. Maybe you add him on to like a team like Sacramento or something as like a sixth guy. Just add a little bit more to him.
The Lakers should have gone for him.
I know that the Knicks like him.
The Knicks like anyone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett.
I mean, I think the thing about Detroit is they just have to burn they have to get rid of Blake Griffin, and I think you get rid of Blake, you get rid of Derek, you stop trying to win games. That's a fool's errand when you're as bad as Detroit.
Yeah.
And you hold on to a couple guys like Luke Kennard and try to get a decent guy in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta lose as many games as you can and get the best chance possible at the first pick.
Yeah. And we'll assume under this situation that for whatever reason Detroit has become good at drafting with your picks.
Well, now I'm drafting for them, and I'm not really sure who would come up.
LaMelo.
You know, LaMelo,
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly Detroit becomes good at drafting is fair. I think Luke is a restricted free agent. I can keep him around for a while longer. My goal is to draft defense. I think draft big, draft defense.
Mm-hmm.
If I have 2 first-round picks, I think one goes to a pretty strong small forward that I can find, and probably the best available point guard.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
I just don't think it's worth keeping Blake around. You could keep Derrick Rose around a little longer if you feel like it.
But you're really just wasting his time and your
Right.
own time with him doing well and giving you wins.
They did
just trade everybody and find find somebody that you can really just start building that team around. Like you said, stop trying to win games. Find a draft pick. And then, that's when you trade either Derrick Rose or Blake Griffin and try and get some other draft picks. Keep one of them around for that mentorship, but there's no one else. There's no one else.
Who's their coach? Maybe I want to burn their coach too.
Dwayne Casey, the old
Dwayne
Raptors coach.
Yeah, no, I want him. Never mind.
Do you?
He's a solid
he can't
coach.
Get out of the first round with the Raptors.
Yeah, but
first year there, Nick Harris takes him all the way to the finals.
I'll let him build my chemistry and build my team up, and then I'll fire him and hire the next best guy, and we'll win a championship. I'll also bring Kawhi.
So you're going with the Warriors thing, where you let him waste all his time, and then you hire Steve Kerr and win immediately. Yeah,
if Steve's available, I'll hire him.
Okay.
They did just draft. Sekou Doumbouya. Golly, that's a name that's hard to say. He's 6'9", 230. I think maybe I want to get another decent forward to sit next to him. Yeah, poor Detroit had the 15th pick. They really messed up trying to win games last year just to get destroyed by Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you gotta also try to get a solid point guard in there, somebody who you can trust with the ball in their hands every game.
Yeah.
Caleb, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Okay.
Talk.
So.
Do you want to do a different team? Because I don't know.
We can spin a different team, but I want to say a few things about the Detroit Pistons first.
Okay.
So my plan is right in between Zane's and Benny's, but closer to Zane's with sell everybody.
Okay.
Maybe we keep Christian Wood. Probably not. He's valuable right now because he's playing well. He could go to the Hornets, get like second rounder, maybe a decent player. Doesn't matter. Players don't matter. Thon Maker, keep him around for the potential. He's not worth anything. Derrick Rose, we trade Derrick Rose to the Lakers or where were they? Or the Magic. We trade him to the Magic for Markelle Fultz and a first or second round pick, We keep Sekou. He's going to be the next Pascal Siakam. We get rid of Kennard. Teams want shooting. We give him to literally anybody for like a second-round draft pick or a young player. Blake Griffin, we trade him to either Portland for Hassan Whiteside, which we can then trade for something better, like a pick, or we trade him to the Dallas Mavericks for a pick and maybe one of their younger players. Besides that, there's nothing else to sell.
Yeah.
I draft LaMelo Ball in the first round. The end.
Golly, they've really got a struggling team over here.
Zane, did you want to say anything about Detroit before we spin again?
No, I think I said my share.
Okay.
Delete them.
Burn it down.
Take them away.
All right, we're spinning. All right, Zane, do you want this one?
What is it?
It's Cleveland.
Cleveland.
You can have this one, and I'll take the next one. Not because I saw what it was before. I was planning on giving it to you before. I realize that sounds sarcastic, but I actually was. Okay, let's pull up the Cleveland roster.
Yep, Cleveland needs to go and trade for LeBron again. No. Solid plan.
End of recording. Let's finish right there.
Yes. Colin Sexton's a solid player. We need to keep him around. Build around him. Get Kevin Love out of there. Bring in another guy that's got true potential.
You could trade Kevin Love to the same places as Blake Griffin, Portland or the Mavericks.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think Cleveland is like too far away from being a potential playoff team. I just think that they need to make some good moves with the decent players that they have. I mean, they've got players that they can get that have good stock, but they're just not. They're on the decline of their career.
Zay, my eyebrow raised so high when you were like, "They're so close to becoming a potential," and I was like, "Is he about to say?" And then you said
they're getting close.
Yeah,
they're getting close.
Getting close to being
Kevin
Love's
on a $28 million salary.
Yeah, you said getting close to being a potential, and I thought you were gonna say championship team, but then you said playoff team, and I was like, okay, yeah.
No.
You were about to get put on the wait what list.
And also,
he might still get on there. Sorry, Zane, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah, delete Kevin Love. Andre Drummond's not even worth having, really, either.
Yeah, well, he's leaving. He's done.
Yeah, his contract's up.
How's Kevin Porter Jr.?
Too young.
Well, he's 20,
too young to say. I don't think he's played enough to know.
That's how I feel about Colin Sexton. But I think I would.
He's pretty good. I wouldn't get rid of Colin Sexton.
Sexton's put up numbers at least. I think Kevin Porter Jr.'s in the same boat as Darius Garland.
The real problem is they drafted Colin Sexton and then drafted him again in Darius Garland.
And then how did Deladova end up back on the Cavs? I was really confused. I thought I was on the wrong year when I hopped on there.
They've also got Ante Zizic, which is I think he's shown some decent potential. Never mind, I'm looking at his stats. I thought he was way better than that.
I think you're thinking of Zubox.
Oh, I am thinking of Zubox. I was like, wait a minute.
Who is Sir Dominic Pointer? What the heck?
Sir Dominic Pointer.
Who is this man?
Dude, he's a nobody.
I've never heard of him before. So
he's got a 0 position rank on ESPN.
That's because he's the GOAT. He's higher than 1.
That's true. Yeah, no.
So your basic plan for all these guys is to just burn everybody for draft pick.
Yeah, part 2.
I mean, to be fair, you're right. Like, that's all
I
you
mean,
can
I think,
do.
yeah. I mean, like, who's CD Osmond, dude? You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah,
I think his name is actually Chetty Osman.
No.
yeah. Me and Benny are over here on the Chetty wagon, like, saying, what are you saying?
I like Chetty Osman.
So do I. I think
Is it
he
Chetty Osmond? I've honestly never heard of him either.
I think he should have been better this year than he was. I thought this was his breakout year after being with LeBron for a few years, but didn't happen.
He yeah,
Fair
he
enough.
tried. Yeah, I
Not
think
hard enough.
I've got a couple things I'd like to say about Cleveland.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, how come Matthew Dellavedova is getting 9.6 million? That's insane.
My thoughts exactly.
Andre Drummond's leaving. Dante Exum is getting 9.6 also. That's insane. Kevin Love is getting paid more than Andre Drummond. He needs to go. I mean, I think, like you said, Portland, maybe Miami. I don't know. Somebody will take him, but he can't be on this team anymore if they're going to be successful. He costs way too much.
Oh, Ben.
Larry Nance is making 12.7 to be the 8th best player on the team. No.
Boom, roasted.
No. No.
Boom roasted.
I mean, Larry Nance fills the same shoes that Tristan Thompson does. He's just more athletic and younger because he's only a little younger.
And gets paid less.
And gets paid less. You're right. Tristan Thompson makes a ton. They need to talk Tristan Thompson into jumping down to Larry Nance's numbers. Just because Tristan Thompson has a ring doesn't mean anything. Like,
apparently it
you
does.
gotta take advantage. I mean, they paid Darius Garland 6.4.
I mean, that's a rookie contract. That's not.
Yeah, but Colin Sexton's only 4.7, and he was drafted the year before.
But I think it's difference in draft position and difference in salary cap for the year on rookie contracts. I don't think it's like
Maybe.
the NFL where you get to like choose. I think it's based on position and year.
I almost wonder if you could trade Darius Garland for a more pure 2-guard, something like that. I think Chetty is worth keeping around. If you want to, you could probably keep Tristan around to play a decent center, a decent effort guy. But I think you got to choose between Colin Sexton and Darius Garland to be your real point guard, and then start building off one of those two. They're in better spot than Detroit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the salary of all these guys, I was like, oh, please let us roll Hornets next, because they are so much worse.
Yeah.
I agree with both of you. I think they need to get rid of all the people they're paying too much, and they need to basically just clear salary cap and hope that they can sign a couple good players in free agency. I mean, realistically, if Colin Sexton becomes better, they could sign somebody. I don't know who's coming up for free agency. Obviously, not like a high tier guy like Anthony Davis, but maybe they get DeRozan. Maybe they get one other guy to come.
Maybe they can trade a couple guys and a pick and get a decent guy to play next to Colin Sexton. But I think if I was picking, I think you try to draft as best you can, pick up a couple decent role-playing guys, and I think Zane's right. If you can draft a solid forward or 2-guard, pick up a few role players and burn salary, so lose Kevin Love and a couple of those other guys making a ton, you actually might have a 7th or 8th seed caliber team here.
Yeah. All right. Any last notes on the Cleveland Cavaliers before we do our final spin?
God, Cleveland sucks.
It's pronounced CD Osmond, by the way.
Okay. And it's pronounced Where? Oh, I lost my tab here. And it's pronounced Sir Dominic Pointer. And away we go with the spin. And I get... Oh, I got an easy one.
Who'd you get?
Oh. Oh, guys.
The Suns.
No, I got Atlanta.
Oh.
Ooh, that is an easy one.
Oh, whoops.
What?
I should probably type in Hawks roster. I just typed in Atlanta and just saw a story about murder. But anyway, on to the NBA. Okay, why did I go to like the weirdest layout of the roster? There we go, ESPN. Okay, this is pretty easy. Alright, we got Trae Young, keeping him, obviously.
No, burn him.
Burn him.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, we got Trae Young at point guard. Or shooting guard is Kevin Huerter. Small forward, DeAndre Hunter. Power forward is John Collins. And center is Clint Capella. So, I'm going to make...
Not a bad team.
No. So, here's the move I'm going to make. I'm getting rid of Dwayne Dedman. He's getting paid too much. I don't care what I get back for him. I'll take a second rounder. I will take nothing. I want someone who's getting paid less. It's a salary dump move. I'm also trading Jeff Teague to a team that needs a point guard. So that could be, let's see what we got here. That could be the Magic. Could be somebody who needs like a sixth man type thing, like the Lakers, or honestly anybody who needs just a backup point guard. He could fill kind of a Reggie Jackson role, kind of like what Reggie Jackson's doing for the Clippers. But I get rid of him. That opens up That
opens up some calories. Better eat some more hot dogs. Hey, what are you gonna do with Vince Carter?
He's retired already.
Oh shit.
But I hire him as my coach.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna actually steal what happened in a 2K game I was playing that I really liked, and it really surprised me. So they basically cleared their cap, like I'm saying, and during free agency they ended up picking up DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
So this summer they pick up DeMar DeRozan. Maybe you trade Cam Reddish out of there just to get a good sixth man, like get like a Lou Williams or something like that for the potential of Cam Reddish. But then you're talking about the lineup of Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, DeAndre Hunter, who's putting up like some pretty good games this season. He was scoring 25, 26 in some games this season, putting up good defensive stats. Got John Collins averaging 20 and 10, and you got Clint Capella. And then you got Kevin Huerter coming off the bench. Yeah, I think this is pretty simple because they traded for Capella pretty late in the year, and Capella was kind of injured, had been out the whole year. And then John Collins was suspended.
Didn't they draft somebody pretty decent this year?
They drafted Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. So two very good guys. But I think honestly they just need time.
Atlanta's probably they're on the rise.
Easy.
If Trae Young continues to grow, there's no doubt.
My biggest worry,
they've got somewhere to go.
Yeah, my biggest worry is that they turn into the Suns, where you look at them and you're like, why are you not winning? But also, Trae Young's better than Booker, so.
I don't know. DeMar might not be the guy to get.
Well, who you got in free agency this year?
Bradley Beal?
No, he signed an extension.
Did he? Shoot.
Okay.
That's probably the only guy.
Let's look at the list here. This is top 10 players who will be available. Oh, why do you have to put it in the slideshow? Okay, Montrezl Harrell, Otto Porter, Serge Ibaka, DeMar DeRozan, Eric Gordon, Gordon Hayward. Andre Drummond, Mike Conley, Draymond, Anthony Davis. So, okay, they just get Anthony Davis. No, I mean, I think
I
DeMar.
bet Anthony Davis resigns with the Lakers.
I think
Right.
DeMar DeRozan is more
Your
realistic.
best bet.
I mean, you could say Gordon Hayward. I just don't.
Yeah,
You
but
probably would
I think
prefer
I
DeMar.
think you could pay DeMar less than Gordon
Yes,
Hayward.
you could pay DeMar less than Gordon, and
And
the thing
it's
is,
the same guy.
yeah, the thing is, DeMar doesn't have to be like he has been for the Spurs, where he's the guy. You already have Trae Young. You already have John Collins. He needs to be at
That might be a
best
pretty nasty team.
the second or third scoring option, and he just needs to go out and score. He doesn't have to worry about holding the team on his back
Doing
like
it
he's
all.
had to do, like he couldn't do with the Spurs, like he couldn't do with the Raptors. He just has to go out and do what he does.
He's also only
And
really
that's
gotten
play.
better at the three.
Yeah,
20 plus points per game coming out of him too.
And he's really, I mean, with Capella down there too, they're gonna have a decent just structure guy down there.
yeah. I mean, you still have John Collins. I'm not saying that this is gonna last forever. Like once they need to pay, Trae Young
For 6
or John
guys.
Collins, it becomes, oh well, we didn't win or we did win. We need to dump DeRozan or Capella now, so we can pay Trae Young and John Collins because they're obviously the first priority.
Right.
But I think within this window they could have a couple shots with Trae Young and John Collins getting better, with DeAndre Hunter getting better, with maybe you keep Cam Reddish and he gets better as a sixth man, but you still have Clint Capella on quite a deal of a contract here. I think getting paid $15 million. I mean, Tristan
Right.
Thompson's getting paid 20 basically.
Right.
Clint Capella is 10 times better than Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, and younger and more athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the easiest one there.
Yeah.
Caleb.
I mean,
But
told
I think it's good because they didn't. The answer isn't just burn everything to the ground and hope whatever comes back is better.
yeah. It was.
Um,
Well, are we wanting to do any more wheels, or are we wanting to call it?
I think we're
I think we might
at our
call it.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's.
Closing remarks.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. That's the BZC Sports Podcast, episode number 2.
Dose.
Benny, I think we should each get closing remarks.
Okay,
I think that would be appropriate.
go ahead.
I'd just like to say that the new meme. This is a prediction. The new meme by this time next year will be skinny Jokic in a swimming pool. That's my closing remark.
Saying anything you
I
want to say?
I think my closing remark is that, my team still the best.
All right, Benny.
Um,
This is BZC Sports.